And now, back to the Tim Ridley Show.
Hope Zvara is with us. She is the CEO of Mother Trucker Yoga, a company devoted to improving truck drivers' fitness and wellness standards. National Yoga Month. She'll be talking about the benefits of yoga for truck drivers. If you have a question for Hope, you can give us a call at 615-292-6366. Or perhaps if it's easier for you to shoot me an email, you can do that question. You can submit that question via email at tim@radionemo.com. Hope, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tim.
How are you this fine morning?
I am doing fantastic. Happy to be on with you again today.
Always a pleasure having you on with us, and thank you so much for all you do for all of our listeners out there and others too, in terms of getting folks to better health. So National Yoga Month and the benefits of yoga for truck drivers. Let me preface it with this, Hope. This was, I'm going to go back many years ago, back when I first got into trucking. You would have never, even during my career in trucking, you would have never even imagined a truck driver doing yoga. But yeah, and not to say that there were no truck drivers doing it, you know, when they were at home or even before they got into trucking, but it just wasn't anything that was talked about or known or even imagined. But the thing about yoga is really good for everybody. And thanks to you, you have brought this to the trucking industry where now there are more drivers doing this. But again, back to my trucking days, I never even thought I was just flexible enough to do yoga, but I always looked at it as bending like a pretzel. But you don't have to start that way. You can start off with baby steps I've learned from you and work your way up. So let's talk about the benefits of yoga for truck drivers.
Yes. If those of you that are listening are thinking, oh gosh, you know, I don't want to, you know, stand on my head or do weird poses outside my truck. You know, the good news is you don't have to. You never need to own a yoga mat. You never need to step into a yoga studio or really, quite frankly, you don't even have to tell anybody that you ever have done yoga. My whole goal for truck drivers is to take what I have learned over the past 20 years from teaching yoga, practicing yoga, and really, you know, living the aspects of yoga in my life and deconstructing them and giving them to drivers in digestible, nice little bite-sized pieces. And what that means and what that looks like is really, you know, showing drivers simple little stretches they can do in the driver's seat. How things like learning how to breathe. When I first started yoga, I was holding my breath for the majority of the day. I had never even really noticed that. And then talking with other people, they were doing the same thing too. And no wonder we're so anxious and so stressed and so edgy. We're not getting enough oxygen. And yoga really reminds us how to breathe. There's techniques that we can learn how to breathe, even just a simple, deep abdominal breath that we can all do that right now, sitting here listening to this. And it's as simple as taking a nice deep breath in through your nose and really trying to let your belly expand as much as possible. And when you can't inhale anymore, you can exhale through the nose or the mouth. You won't get caught up in those details. And I just want you to exhale and move all of that air out. And you're purposefully pulling the belly in because we can only take in as much oxygen as we let out carbon dioxide. And most of us are breathing, I call it clavicle breathing, with about 18% of our lung capacity. No wonder we're stressed and anxious and have asthma and feel out of breath getting in and out of our truck. We're not tapping into one of the freest resources and tools that we have, and that's our breath. And that's just the beginning. I mean, there's mindfulness that we can do, simple visualization techniques, even just the art of paying attention a little bit more to what we're doing in the moment. That's really my goal for drivers, is to take the good pieces of yoga and learn how to adapt them into their lives so that they can keep on trucking. They can keep living the best quality life possible. And up until this point, you know, I've just seen a lot of struggle where being given exercises, being given programs that just quite frankly are not adapted the way I see it should be to a driver's life. And I want to change that. And yoga is a big piece of that.
just the fact of breathing correctly, or just breathing, period, something that we take so much for granted, it makes a big difference in your life. Because, as you were talking about that, I'm thinking, my goodness, I've probably been walking around like that too without even realizing it. But it's so important, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's something that we all can do just for the day-to-day. Just pay attention. Catch yourself. Set an alarm on your phone every hour that just reminds you, oh, yeah, I should take a breath. And just take that really deep belly breath again that we just did. And I don't know about you, but when I do that, I do feel a little bit more calm. I feel a little bit more present, a little bit more at ease. And stress is a huge factor for so many drivers because so much of your day is out of your control. So much of your day is unknown. And one of the things I love about yoga is it really reminds us to kind of come back and be present. That, yep, there's a lot of stuff going on, but if, you stretch and you breathe and you just kind of live in your body, as cliche as that sounds, life really isn't so bad. I mean, we get so caught up in all that other stuff, Tim, right? You know that.
Yeah,
it's like all that other stuff out there, and then we're angry, and then we're frustrated, and then we have a tense neck, and then we're not sleeping at night, and it's just the snowball. And so what if there was a way that you could insert simple little stretches, simple little moves throughout your day, little breathing reminders, in through your day, so that by the end of the day, not only are you less stressed, but you feel better. Your back doesn't hurt so much. Your neck doesn't hurt so much. And so much of our culture is focused on the feel the burn and the, go get it nonstop, keep going, 20 more push-ups. And although that's good and there's a place for that, many drivers are struggling with pain, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. They're inflexible, immobile. They're not sleeping well. Yoga can play a big role in that in just tiny little bite-sized pieces.
And that makes it a lot more imaginable or a lot more manageable as well. You can imagine yourself doing it in little bite-sized pieces, as you just mentioned. Hope is with us. This is Tim Ridley, and Hope, I have an email that came in too. I'll get that to you now, and you can answer this on the other side. He describes himself as slightly overweight at over 300 pounds. He says, I'm 5'11". And he's wanting to get into yoga to try to help with swelling and inflammation. But his problem is, he says, I haven't actually been able to get on the ground to do anything. And I could only imagine that the difficult time I would have trying to get back up off the ground. Can you give me some pointers on where to start to be able to get myself more flexible and also to lose some weight? So we'll get that answer on the other side. We'll be back on the other side of these messages. This is Tim Ridley along with Hope on the Tim Ridley Show on Sirius XM.
Don't you know that it's time to get on board?
Hope Farah, CEO of Mother Trucker Yoga, is with us. This is Tim Ridley on Sirius XM talking about the benefits of yoga for truck drivers. I hope, do you need me to read that email again, or did you pretty much get that?
Let's jump in.
All right.
Well, first, what was his name? Do you remember?
Yeah, he has his name, but I generally don't put the name out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is something that a lot of drivers struggle with, and this is something I've come in contact with a lot. He mentioned the word inflammation. And we want to recognize that inflammation comes, or even lymphedema, swelling, a lot of times from lack of movement. And so this is such a big issue in trucking, and yoga can help eliminate some of that swelling, some of that edema, so that you feel less stiff, you feel less sore, you feel a little bit more mobile. And I actually just had a message from Tracy, a driver, and she was talking about actually thanking me after her double knee replacement, that yoga brought back her balance, her stability, and her focus, and most of all, her peace of mind. I met her at Matt's. She actually bought my book, Trucking Yoga. But what she was talking specifically about was that the moves in the driver's seat. And so for the person that is writing in, something as simple as just doing a little easy spinal twist When you reach for your seatbelt, really try to rotate your torso and then make sure you go the other way. When you're driving, reach up for your visor and just stretch into your underarm. Roll your neck, tip your head back and stretch the front of your throat. All of that driving creates so much tightness in the front of the neck, it actually creates back of the neck back pain. You never have to get down on the floor if you don't want to right now. You can use your sleeper, you can use your bed, and bring your legs up to the sky, roll your ankle, and try holding your legs straight up for a minute. Not only is that going to help with all of that swelling and inflammation, you're going to feel that. It feels so good, but it's a great core challenge too. It's a great hamstring stretch too. When you're outside your truck, take your hands onto your step and step your feet back, and you can do a plank. Another great strength building exercise. And so all of these are in my book and on our website, but the great thing is if you're feeling like your health right now will not allow you to do certain things, I just want to tell you that this is something that I have taken very seriously and very diligently, and everything that we have crafted with Mother Trucker Yoga, or everything that we're trying to help show drivers about yoga, can be adapted and modified and tweaked. I never want anyone to feel like I can't move in my body. There's no options out there for me. I like to think of what we're trying to do with yoga, with Mother Trucker Yoga, as like the opposite of maybe what the messaging is that people have gotten previously, because there's always a way, Tim. There is always a way to get up and move. Reach your arm overhead, that's yoga. Make an arm circle with your arm 10 times each way, that's yoga. Bend down and reach for your toes. It might not be pretty, but that's yoga, and that's a hamstring stretch. Put your hands on the truck step and lean your hips back. That's like a down dog. That's yoga. That counts. I want you all that are listening to get out of the box that exercise and fitness and health has to be a certain way, look a certain way, and be in a certain location in order for you to access it and benefit it. Because I'm here to tell you that that is not the case.
And I know you just made a whole lot of listeners feel a lot better by what you just said. Well, Hope, let's head to the phone lines, and Alvin is with us. Alvin, good morning. You're live on the show with Hope.
Top of the morning to you, Pastor. It's a great day to be alive, I tell you. She hit the button. I think she got a lot of my answer to a few of my questions. I'm walking around now, my morning start here at the Walla World, and because I've got a load that's going from here to California, so I'm going to be sitting a while. Tell me, what is the name of your book again? And I need to know because I'm going to try it.
Yeah, my book is called Trucking Yoga, Simple Fitness for the Long Haul, and that's what it is. It's simple fitness, my friends, and you can find it on Amazon or on our website. But you're walking around Walmart right now. Reach your arms up overhead, roll your wrists, try to take a slightly bigger stride when you walk to stretch your hip. Every so often reach down like you're trying to tie your shoes, but really you're stretching your hamstrings. All of that stuff counts. All of that stuff adds up. That is exercise. That is yoga. But more importantly, that's you living an active life.
Okay, because basically what it is about stretching, because I'm 65 and I'm on meds, and a lot of this I shouldn't be doing, I shouldn't be on, and a lot of what I'm feeling I shouldn't be feeling because, I've grown a little bit now. Well, maybe I've matured a little bit because of the stigmas around, yoga, that it was some skinny little woman's thing. Maybe a 330-pound man can, you're saying that that it will work for me too?
100%. Robert, if you're listening, Dean, if you're listening, they're not tiny little people. But this has played such a big role in their life. Why? Because these are things that you can do anytime, anyway, all body shapes, all ages, all abilities, that I want to break that stigma for drivers. Although I'm small, but that's just the body God gave me. I can't change that. I want drivers to know that there's hope for them and that there are things that you can do. Up to this point in exercise or yoga, so much of what has been offered has been these elaborate, complicated poses that, quite frankly, are almost unsafe for you sometimes. The pretzel-like positions are not good for your joints when done, regularly and often, and can cause other issues. I want to show drivers the basics that help you live a quality life, the things that help you get back to doing what you love, no matter what your body size is, because when we feel good in our body, we make good choices. It's a cycle. It's a good cycle, and I want every driver to be in it.
Thank you so much. Hey, Pastor, thank you. And y'all have a fine one. And like I say, I ain't never going to be one of them guys that's in the pretzel that's, doing it downward.
And you don't have to, you and me both, okay? You and me both.
Yeah, me either. That's right. Well, Alvin, thank you so much for your call, brother. We appreciate you. Be safe out there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Hope, we are just about out of time, but thank you so much. And can you give out your website and also the name of that book again?
Oh, 100%. It's Trucking Yoga, Simple Fitness for the Long Haul. And our website is mothertruckeryoga.com. And for all you listening, just use the code free ship and you guys can get free shipping. I want you to be able to get that book in your hands as fast as possible. Whether you're an over-the-road truck driver, a day cab driver, a bus driver, the techniques and the practicality that you're going to learn inside that book is going to change your life. I know it.
All right. Thanks for all you do, Hope, and we look forward to talking to you next time around.
Perfect. Thanks, Tim, and thanks to all you drivers out there.
All right. Have a great day now.